Some Pokemon are cute and cuddly, other Pokemon are fierce and powerful, and others decide that the time for fun and games are over and you're gonna sit down, read its lore, and before you know it, they pop up behind you and eat your soul. Unfortunately, that's not an exaggeration, so today, we'll be looking at the Pokemon with some of the most unsettling bios. Welcome to the top 5 Pokemon with the creepiest Pokedex entries. Number 5. You may know Gourgeist as the lovely looking fish Pokemon opposite to Huntail. Unless your Gourgeist is prey. This has to be one of the most misleading Pokedex entries. It starts, although Gourgeist is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming, that sounds fine, right? There's an although there, but it can't be too bad. Maybe it's elegant, but it smells because it's a fish. Maybe it's elegant, but it's too deep into the ocean that not many people see one. Those are all acceptable ways to end this sentence. But nope, it inserts its thin mouth into its prey and drains them of their body fluids. What? Okay, yup. I was totally prepared for that. Number 4. UMass Pokedex entry is one of those really scary stories that preys on a common irrational fear. It reads, each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Sometimes they look at it and cry. It's a very sad and eerie tale, mostly because of the lack of information given. Was it a bad person who turned into a Pokemon? Or was it just a normal guy who got unlucky and really wants to go back to being a person? I'm sure there's a lot of people that had that fear of randomly turning into something and not being able to go back to being human. So making a Pokemon that cries because it happened definitely makes that fear even more scary. Number 3. Bayonets. This is a personal fear of mine because I watched that one episode of The Twilight Zone where the girl turned all her babysitters into dolls and they attacked her. There was nothing on TV that day. Bayonet's Pokedex entry reads, an abandoned plush doll became this Pokemon. They are said to live in garbage dumps and wander about in search of the children that threw them away. I've had some plushies as a kid that I lost because, I was a kid. There was no chance I wasn't going to lose one. So making a Pokemon that haunts kids who abandon a toy is less than settling. Just imagine waking up to this guy standing on top of you, staring at you. Wouldn't even give me enough time to explain it wasn't my fault. Number 2. Gourgeist. See that happy face? And that second happy face? Nothing bad could come from this Pokemon, right? Wrong. Gourgeist, for whatever reason, needs to assert its animal plant kingdom dominance in what I can only describe as a what the heck? Why? Why would you do this, Game Freak? Why? Kind of way. Gourgeist Pokedex entry reads, it enwraps its prey in its hair-like arms. It sings joyfully as it observes the suffering of its prey. Some people like to pick up a hobby, maybe watching birds, maybe frisbee. Nope. For fun, Gourgeist likes to hold living things and sing in its face as it watches their suffering. I bet he sings Nickelback. Look at this suffering. Number 1. I'm sure we've all heard the Cubone Pokedex entry a million times. It wears the skull of its deceased mother. Its cries echo inside the skull and come out as a sad melody. Okay, see, that's creepy on its own, but have you ever really thought about how gross that is? Sure, it's his mother's skull, but since Cubone is wearing a skull from his mother, we can assume that Cubone is not born with a skull, and he gets it after he's been born. That means that's his actual mother's skull. Not a skull that his mother wore, the one that was part of her skeleton. Now there's a whole theory on Cubone being a baby Kangaskhan who lost its mother, but even if that's not the case, it's clear that they are not born with the skull. Do you know what that means? That means Cubone has to sit beside his deceased mother, wait for her body to decompose, then detach the skull and clean it out, and then wear it. Or wear it without cleaning it out. There are no words besides the words that was in that paragraph that I just said. But besides that, there are no words. Thanks for watching my top 5 creepiest Pokedex entries. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and click on the links on the thing there so you can go to the next video or the previous video or the playlist so you have freedom of control over which video to go to. Also click that one to subscribe. There's an arrow and then there's like an annotation on it. Unless you're on a phone, then I don't think annotations work. Thanks for watching. See you all next time for another top 5 or top 10, or there's gonna be a top at least in the title. Thanks for watching.